What if I told you the biggest shift in the NFC North didn't happen at a podium, a presser, or a trade call, but inside a single box score line that the rest of the league is trying to ignore? Imagine the lights still buzzing in Allen Park, coaches replaying the same third down snap in slow motion, and one name underlined in thick blue Sharpie. No drama, no leaks. Just a quiet post-game reveal that rewrites how defenses have to live on Monday morning. If you stepped away to grab a coffee after the Bears game, you already missed it. And if you're an opposing DC, you're about to lose sleep. The clock's ticking, Detroit. This isn't a rumor. This is a race. Here's the promise. I'm going to show you exactly why this development around Amon-Ra St. Brown changes Detroit's offensive math without spoiling the punchline yet. We'll connect the dots between usage, alignment, and efficiency. Explain the signal the team just sent. Map the ripple effects for Jared Goff and the post-Ben Johnson playbook. Flag one real risk the fan base shouldn't ignore. And preview what this means for Monday night prep against Baltimore's secondary. No filler, no fluff, just trench level. Detail about a wideout who plays like a linebacker and reads coverages like a coach. Before we blow the doors off this, hammer subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, tap the bell, and drop a like. This is Detroit coverage with rolled-up sleeves, blue collar, 4th and 1, and built for people who know the difference between a sift block and a split zone. Let's reset the scene. The national talk all summer was, can the league's top offense keep humming after Ben Johnson? You don't replace a play caller that's sharp with a snap of the fingers. You refine. You stress what you do best. You trust your core. Then week 2 hits and Detroit hangs a 50-burger on Chicago, not because the playbook got trickier, but because the execution got meaner. Tempo with purpose, personnel groupings that make you wrong pre-snap, and Goff throwing on time while the big fellas kept his jersey clean enough to reshelve. Somewhere under that avalanche sat one truth that should feel familiar by now. When the ball finds number 14 early, everything else gets easier. All right, headline time. The team's post-Bears update centered on Amon-Ra St. Brown's latest benchmark day. 9 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns, solid goal by itself, but the kicker was the historical context. That performance marked his 20th career 100-yard game and placed him, once again, in rare franchise company for production across the season's first 2 weeks. Translation: we're not talking hot start fluff. We're talking sustained, repeatable dominance from the sun god. Is this gossip? No. This is straight from the building. It's official in the ways that matter, and it tells you 2 things. 1. The offense can change play callers and still funnel high-leverage targets to its alpha. 2. Amon-Ra's efficiency hasn't just survived the transition, it's weaponized it. Now, why does this matter beyond social media graphics? Because of how Detroit is doing it. St. Brown's route tree isn't about streaks and sizzle. It's about leverage and answers. Choice routes from condensed splits, option scenes against match quarters, whip return underneath when linebackers overplay the glance. He's a toolbox, not a trinket. The Lions align him everywhere. True slot, nasty split, motion to stack, even backfield looks to stress rules. You get the same scene over and over. A defender playing outside shade on 3rd and medium. And Amon-Ra dropping his weight like a running back, snapping inside, and presenting hands right as Goff hits the back foot. That's trust. That's language. That's what travels in December. The connection with Goff is the no-news news that wins games. Since 2021, their chemistry has built in layers, hot adjustments against pressure, pivot tags against press, and a silent counter when to throttle down in soft zones to steal YAC. Watch how often Goff throws him. Open shoulder, ball placed on the side that protects the body from the hit. That's years of reps. The knock on Detroit was always, take away the first read and make them labor. Except the first read is often a 3-option menu in Amon-Ra's hands, and the second read is just him re-leveraging space after the snap. That's how a good offense becomes inevitable. Now let's add context. Week 1 was below his own standard by raw numbers, which made Week 2's eruption feel even louder. The bigger truth is usage design. You don't chase stats with St. Brown. You chase matchups. Detroit will stress your worst tackler with motion and force your worst communicator into traffic. He feasts on that. And when he starts to feast, Sam Laporta is suddenly running free on a delay. Jahmyr Gibbs is one step wider on an angle, and your favorite third safety package gets shelved. It's Cascade football. Is there a risk in all this? Absolutely, and it has nothing to do with toughness. Volume plus contact adds up. The way Amen Reed plays middle field bravery, hard stops, sudden turns, puts torque on ankles and rips through traffic. Detroit's sports science group has been money-building maintenance practice days without losing timing. But the line is thin between rhythm and overload. The other risk is strategic. If you're living on option routes without enough vertical deterrence outside, high-level defenses will start capping with a safety and a squat corner, daring you to go over the top to the X. That's why the complementary cast matters. Jameson Williams' speed can keep the roof high. Josh Reynolds' conversion routes on the boundary force on his hips. Laporta's seam work punishes late safety rotation. If the room does its job, the sun god keeps his middle earth. Let's pivot to the tactical chessboard for Monday night. Baltimore's secondary brings length and disguise. They'll press, bail, jam, and spin late to try and steal Goff's eyes in the window where he usually lets it go. The counter is motion-driven clarity and stack releases. If you can force the Ravens to declare man or zone pre-snap by chasing Amon-Ra across the formation, you chop their disguise game down. Expect Detroit to lean into bunch with switch releases. Think point man across, inside wheel from the off, quick under from Amon-Ra, and to use jet motion to bump box counts before running split flow off it. When Baltimore rolls the nickel over the stack to trap outbreaking routes, look for Amon-Ra to pivot and sit free yards. And don't forget the run game. When 14 aligns tight and grinds a safety off the edge with a crack, Gibbs gets the alley. It's dirty work for a star. He loves it. What about red zone, where everything speeds up and space disappears? Amon-Ra's hands and patience turn tight windows into routine completions. Return routes at the pylon, delayed drags off play action. And those nasty little Mills Light looks where the post clears just enough for him to hook at 6. That's money. With his knack for leverage, you don't need end zone hero balls. You need position, pace, and precision. Goff and 14 have that coded big picture implications are staring the NFC North in the face. Detroit didn't just replace a coordinator, they reasserted an identity. Physical up front, precise in the air, ruthless in situational football. The Amon-Ra update isn't a pat on the back. It's a billboard to the division. The engine still roars, and the driver's still the same. You can bracket him, you can roll coverage, you can try to bully him at the line. He's seen it. He'll find your blind spot. Let's put the fact or speculation stamp on this. The production markers and organizational framing are facts posted, logged, and backed by the tape. The speculation? How Detroit will calibrate target share and motion volume week to week, especially against defenses that lean on trap coverage and late rotation. There's also the educated guess that the staff will dial up a few new Amon-Ra backfield looks to make Baltimore declare late. That's the part we'll only confirm when the ball's in the air. One more layer that can't be faked. Leadership. Watch the sideline cuts after touchdowns. Amon-Ra isn't chasing cameras. He's grabbing helmets, pointing at landmarks, and talking through the last leverage read like it's a Tuesday install. That infects a room in the best way. And it fits the Campbell-Holmes thesis. Draft dudes who love the grind more than the shine. Now it's your turn. Detroit. What's your target share for 14 against Baltimore 10+? Or do you want a more spread-the-love approach? How comfortable are you letting him live in the middle of the field with that much traffic versus building more boundary isolation for your other wideouts? And where do you stand on dialing up a couple true shot plays early, even if they're decoys to spring Amon-Ra later? Drop your answers in the comments. This community runs on informed takes, not excuses. My opinion before we close. Feed him responsibly. Script the first 15 with 3 Amon-Ra touches, 1 quick game to feel the coverage, 1 motion to stack red to test communication, 1 crack replace where he blocks and then leaks late. Keep the vertical threat honest with a Yamo seam in the first quarter. And don't be shy about using Amon-Ra in the backfield to grab matchups on linebackers. Then let the game stabilize into what Detroit does best: punish on schedule, own third down, and make the red zone feel crowded. The sun god is your thermostat. Set the temperature early and make the Ravens sweat. This is Detroit football built, not borrowed. If you came here for hype, you took a wrong turn. If you came here for truth with calluses, welcome home. Tap subscribe, smash the like, and share this with the Lions fan who sits through the credits just to rewatch the pulling guard. We'll be here all week, breaking it down 1 leverage red at a time.